By the minute we realize we are already on Instagram for an hour. Abandon that mindset that, oh, I haven't finished studying, probably I shouldn't start doing questions. Hey you, it is Jai. If you are new here, I'm an in and out fully rostered medical student. So I'm actually very excited to make this video because this last minute intense preparation has made me the top scorer in the school test. I'm not bragging here because you can do it as well. Disclaimer, learning and taking exam are two different entities. This video is specially meant for exam preparation. If you are here to score well in exam by last minute preparation, this video is for you. Before we start, there's a good news to share with you guys, especially for those who are still skeptical of where to go after SPM or pre-university. The biggest UK education fair in 2022 is coming up on 20th of March. Other than application fee waiver and visa assistance, AUG also advises on scholarship that can get up to 100% off tuition fees. Other than that, they are going to have other education fairs in March and April, which cover more than 50 local and overseas institutions like Australia, Singapore, and the USA. So check out the description box and good luck in your university hunt. Alright, let's get into it. The first thing is dedicate a limited amount of time for studying. This is contrary to popular belief when we are often told to have an ample amount of time for exam preparation. But for special human beings like you who click on this video for last minute preparation, obviously we can't use the conventional mainstream method because either way we are going to waste our time until we have that limited amount of time.
Nobody does that. And you just did it.
That procrastination can cause us to have the guiltiness of not being disciplined, not being able to exert self-control. Those negative thoughts can actually kill the good momentum we need for continuous study. This is explained by bUt. Says if you allocate 2 weeks time to complete your assignment, even though your work can be done much earlier, you are going to stretch your work to fill up that 2 weeks time. But if initially you allocate only 1 week to complete your assignment, you are still going to finish the same amount of work in 1 week's time. Period. Second, build a reward system by topic instead of time. In this last minute exam preparation, we are probably going to study most of the times when we are awake. So we definitely need multiple rewards to keep us going. It will be much better to reward yourself after a specific number of topics instead of a specific duration of time. The first reason is that for human ability,
the limit does not exist.
I mean, you will never know how fast you can memorize when you want to get your reward as soon as possible. Try it, you will know how amazing you are. The second reason is that if you decide to reward yourself after 3 hours of studying, we all know what we will do in that 3 hours. When boredom strikes, when we lose our momentum, and by the minute we realize we are already on Instagram for an hour. So to prevent that tragedy, reward yourself after you have done a few chapters. I use novels and movies to reward myself. For example, after I have done 5 chapters, I will watch movie for 30 minutes. Recently, I prepared my exams with Harry Potter.
What's the matter, Potter? Scared, Potter.
Bet you loved that, didn't you, Potter?
So you can see me crying in front of a laptop when Dobby dies. And 30 minutes later, I'm recalling the complication of preeclampsia. I know, right? Life is crazy. The third thing is the simple memorizing techniques that you can use in this last minute exam preparation. The first one is create a sequence or storyline. For example, the organelles of animal cells. All life starts with genes, so with nucleus for genetic material production. And later, every living thing needs energy to stay alive. So we have our mitochondria here, and to be stronger and bigger, we need protein. So we have ribosomes. Every living thing will die in the end. So here comes the lysosomes to break us down. Frankly, it is very hard to forget if you create a storyline. The second memorizing technique is organize or classify your points. For example, the functions of liver. I don't know about you, but when I see this slide, I think I might better go sleeping. The functions of the liver are really jumbled up and definitely not ideal for memorization. However, if you just spend like 30 seconds or 1 minute to arrange, magic. This little piece of organized information will stick along longer than the previous one. I didn't write down storage, like the storage of ions and fat-soluble vitamins, because in my opinion, knowing 5 functions of liver is more than enough. This is how you can improve your learning experience just by organizing your learning material. This is also helpful for disease with variable presentation like liver cirrhosis. People may tell you that, oh, for the clinical features, I just memorize from head to toes. But for me, it just seemed a bit untangled, and I think it is highly that I will miss just 1 or 2 of them. So I love to record them in terms of their function. When there's liver dysfunction, the synthesis is decreased. So there will be edema and also ecchymosis. And when there's portal hypertension, we will have the upper GI bleeding, varices and splenomegaly, so it is more in order. The third memorizing technique is use mnemonic. 4 years ago, our professor told us C3, C4, C5 make the diaphragm alive. Again, very hard to forget. But use this mnemonic with caution because sometimes it can be overwhelming to just memorize the mnemonic. So look up on the internet if you're struggling with some important points and you cannot use the previous 2 methods to memorize them. The fourth thing is build up your sensitivity towards potential exam questions. Let's think of a scenario. A and B have the same amount of knowledge. A dedicates all her time in studying. B dedicates some of his time in doing practice questions. Who do you think will recall and answer faster in the exam? It will be wise to train and expedite your speed of recalling rather than running short of time to answer the questions you actually know. Doing past year questions or simulated questions are of utmost importance in acing every single exam. I actually wish I started doing questions earlier because doing questions can familiarize me with the exam format, and it also builds up the sensitivity towards like what questions I would expect in the exam, so when I'm studying, I know where to focus on. Abandon that mindset that, oh, I haven't finished studying, probably I shouldn't start doing questions. Remember, doing questions is one of the learning methods. Last but not least, it is not how much you study, it is how much you retain. Double the efforts in memorizing the points you know are going to come up in the exam. How do you know? You know it by intuition when you do a lot of past year questions, practice tests, and also simulated questions. Forget about those little convoluted information that are less likely to be included in the exams. Good to learn and read, but again, this video is for exam preparation, so just don't memorize if you know you are going to forget anyway. That's how I prepare my exam in short amount of time and still able to score decently. Thanks for watching. If you watched until now, leave a love emoji below because I would love to know each and every one of you here. Love you guys. See you in my next video. Bye.